Hi everyone, welcome to Found My Clinic.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Boyega Hassan and I'm here with my wife. Yes, today we'll be discussing a very interesting topic, and we want to throw a question out there to you all that are you mentally strong or mentally weak? We talk about physical strength. Well, we say this person is strong physically. We talk about spiritual strength, that this person is strong. We talk about financial strength too. We say this person is strong financially. How about our mind? How about our mentally? How do we measure mental strength? How do we measure mental weakness? So that's what we'll talk about today. We'll ask you some questions today. We're going to ask you some questions, and when you provide sincere answers, you can tell for yourself if you are mentally strong or mentally weak. So by answering these questions, you'll be able to tell for yourself if you are mentally strong or mentally weak. And we know that everyone, you want to be mentally strong. Nobody wants to be weak. You want to be mentally strong. So, and we also hope that you will also learn one or two things and see how you can be mentally stronger. I know some of the points that we'll be discussing today. Some of them you will be like scoring positive on those points, while some you will be scoring negative, in the sense that in some of those points you will be seeing yourself as someone who is mentally strong, while in some other points you will see yourself that is mentally weak. So the goal of this is to just make us more aware about our mental health. The goal of this is to put us in a check to know what areas of our life we need to work on for us to be mentally stronger and for us to be emotionally stronger. That's what this episode will be about, to measure our mental strength. So join us as we proceed. Okay, now would like to ask you a question that do you bottle your emotions? Whenever you feel bad or good about something, do you bottle it? We believe that mentally strong people are people who don't bottle their emotions. Someone said having emotional pain comes from a place of fear. Sometimes we bottle our emotion because we are afraid. We are afraid of what people will say. We are afraid of what people will feel. We are afraid of maybe rejection, or how will this person take it if I say this? How will this person take that? But it's not a good thing to bottle up your emotions, especially when you have things that are bothering your heart, things that you are not too okay with, you're not too satisfied with. It's not okay to just bottle them up. It's a sign of mental weakness. Whenever you have things going on in your mind, or feelings that are bothering you, that are not making you feel good, we believe it's okay for you to just say it on the spot. Let it out. You understand? Let it out. When somebody offends you, or somebody does wrong, or you're not okay about a service you are getting from somebody, it's not going to do you any good to keep them to yourself. Just call the person in a very mature way. Talk about it. You don't need to bottle up your emotions. It's a sign of mental weakness. You understand? So we want to encourage you guys to make sure that you don't bottle up your emotions. It's not going to do well. It's not going to work well for your mental health. Okay. It's going to drain you. Yeah. So whenever you have emotions, things going on in your mind, please try and just speak up in a mature way. Yes. Call the person, express yourself. Don't bottle up your feelings. If there's somebody that you are maybe eyeing, like a guy, you saw a girl that you like, walk up to them. And there's a popular song in Nigeria that says, if you see somebody,
you love somebody, by Africa China,
yes,
he said, if you love somebody, walk up to her and tell them you love them.
Yes.
So if you love somebody, walk up to the person and tell them you love them. Whatever you feel about somebody, if you feel that they are you just find them attractive and you are good looking, yeah. You don't have to be assaulting with your words, and you don't have to be sexually suggestive with your words. Exactly. So you can actually tell them that you are attractive. Who knows even if your comment that you're making of that person will even make the person's day.
Yeah. So please don't bottle up your emotions. It's a sign of mental weakness. Yes. Please speak up and express yourself, yes, and be free. Yes. Second question is, are you living in your past? Ask yourself, are you living in your past? This goes to about maybe things you've done wrong, things you have not done very well, maybe your past failures. Are you ruminating about things you have done wrong in the past? Are you ruminating about your failure? It's a sign of mental weakness.
A breakup.
Yes, exactly. Maybe you broke up with somebody, or you failed, or you were dismissed from a job, or whatever negative thing or bad thing that happened to you in the past. It's just your past. Learn from it and move on.
Yeah.
It's a sign of mental weakness when we ruminate about our past, most especially when we feel guilty about the wrongs we have done in the past. It's okay to be remorseful, but when it gets to you to the extent that you begin to feel guilty, you begin to feel bad and about yourself, it's not okay for you. So forgetting the past makes you mentally strong. If you're always thinking about the past, if you're always ruminating about the things you've done wrong in the past, if you're always feeling guilty about the wrong things you have done in the past, it's a sign of mental weakness. Mentally strong people don't live in the past. You don't live in your past. Today is another day. So move on with your day. Learn from your mistakes, but move on. Never live in your past. The mistakes you've done in the past, you've done it. You cannot change it. So move on with your life. Don't feel guilty about it. The guilt does not do anything good. It makes you worse. It makes you unproductive. Whenever you feel guilty about anything you have done in the past, it makes you unproductive.
And the major thing about the past is that the past is actually the past. There's nothing you can do about the past. So it makes you even counterproductive.
Yes.
It's as if you are driving backward.
Yes.
There's no car that drives backward and that will ever end up making its journey.
Yes. Yes.
So that end up having a success story. Because you can never reach your destination by driving back.
That's true.
So reliving the past is just as if you are driving back a car, and there's no how you can't get anywhere with that. Even your present, whatever you are doing present, maybe it's a job, maybe it's a relationship, whatever, you cannot even move forward in that thing. You can't advance in that thing when you are still living your past.
So mentally strong people don't live in their past. Mentally weak people live in their past. So ask yourself, are you living in your past? So guys, please, we want to encourage you not to live in your past. It's not a sign of mental strength. The next question we'd like to ask you is that, are you easily influenced by others? Are you somebody who is always moved or influenced by pressure, peer pressure? Are you someone that is easily influenced by others? It's a sign of mental weakness when people easily influence your decision, influence what you do. You understand? So the way to measure whether you are mentally strong or weak is to know how easily influenced you are by peer pressure, most especially. The things you are doing right now, the things you want to do right now, who is influencing that decision? Are you making that decision because you believe that this is the right thing to do, or you are making that decision because of the pressure you are getting from friends, you are getting from family, you are getting from people around you? You don't do things out of pressure. You do things because they are the right things to do. So mentally weak people do things because of peer pressure, because of pressure from friends, from one loved ones, from neighbor, from the society. Mentally weak people do things because of the pressure they get from people. But mentally strong people don't do things because of pressure. They do things because this is the right thing to do. They do things because this is the best decision to be made. So ask yourself, are you easily influenced by people? It's a good way to measure your weakness mentally. The next question we'd like to ask you is that, do you set relational boundaries? When people come around your space, there should be a boundary in maybe at your workplace and family. You don't just allow people to have access to you anyhow, and there's no limit to their relating with you. Mentally strong people don't allow people to just have access to them just anyhow. They create boundaries. You have to create boundaries in your relationship. You can't just allow people to come in and go out of your life just like anyhow. You don't give people access to you anyhow. Mentally people allow everybody to come. They find it difficult to say no. Mentally people, they say yes to everybody. If someone say, can you come and see me tomorrow? They say yes. If they say so, everything they say yes to it. You don't say no. You must learn how to set boundaries. Mentally strong people set boundaries, relational boundaries. You don't give people access to you anyhow. So it's a sign of mental weakness when you say yes to everybody, when you give people access to you.
Basically, relationally, when it comes to relationship, we are different levels of relationship.
Yes.
It's when you are mentally weak that you will not know that there are levels.
Yes.
There are people that you should bring it intimately.
Yes.
There are some that should just be acquaintances.
Yes.
There are even some that they are even you are in relationship, they are your friends,
Yeah.
but they might not come into that level of intimacy with you.
Yeah.
So it depends on the values.
Yeah.
So we can also say that mentally strong people are people that have strong values.
Yes, they have strong values.
Core values, because your values are determine
boundaries
how
you
the
set.
kind of boundaries you set to yourself.
Exactly.
You cannot just meet somebody today and give them access to your space, no matter what.
Exactly.
No matter who they are under the heavens. No matter what.
Yeah.
So having strong values will also determine how you set your boundaries.
Yes.
Like, so you are like you don't call people that you're not close to, like after 9 p.m. You don't call them. To me personally, if it's not, even if it's official, there's a way that even the official work is not be every time to be sometimes.
Exactly.
But maybe your intimate, your close friend, you know, they can call you anytime, or maybe the person you're in relationship with. So it's very important to know that to be mentally strong, you have to have strong values, and those strong values are what define you, and they define your boundaries ultimately.
Yes, sure. So mentally strong people set boundaries. Mentally weak people do not set boundaries. So ask yourself, do you set relational boundaries?
Okay, do you set relational boundaries, or any Tom, Dick and Harry can just bump into your space and then they have you?
Yeah. So another question we'd like to ask you is that, are you the kind of person that open up to new ideas, or you are fixed to your own worldview? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, new ideas.
Yes. So if you are mentally weak, you are always stuck. You're always like, oh, this is how I've been doing it. This is how my life is. You're always rigid. You are very, very rigid. You understand what I'm saying? You are very, very, you're not open to new ideas. You're not open-minded. You're not open-minded. I always tell my wife something, that I have a constant vision. I have a constant goal for my life. But the ways by which I will achieve those things, they are variables. They are variables. So I'm open up to the variables. I'm open up to ways by which I can get to my destination. My destination is fixed. For example, I'm going to Ibadan now. I'm traveling to Lagos. I'm traveling to New York or anything. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me whether I go by road or by sea or by land. The most important thing that I get to New York at the time I am supposed to get there. So in life, you must open yourself to variables, to
different options.
To options. You must not be too rigid. So mentally strong people are people who are open up to ideas. Mentally weak people are like, oh, this is the way I've been doing it, and they're not flexible in life. So ask yourself, do you open yourself up to new ideas? If you don't, it's a sign that you are mentally weak. The last question we'd like to ask you is that, do you take responsibility for your actions? Mentally strong people take responsibility for their action, especially their mistakes. Mentally weak people try to run away from their mistakes. When you make mistakes or you do something wrong, admit it and own up to it. I am wrong. I have done something wrong, and you move on with your life. You don't have to push blame on other people and say, okay, it is this person that caused, this person that did it. That's a sign of mental weakness. You must learn to take responsibility for your actions. You must even learn to take responsibility for other people's action. It's a sign of mental strength. Take responsibility for your action. Take responsibility for other people's action around you. It's a sign of mental strength.
In terms of being a leader, especially a leader,
exactly.
You must move past taking responsibility for your own actions. They're now moving to taking responsibility for others, especially those that are looking up to you, those that are following you. So in that context,
yes. So as a leader, you have to be mentally strong. So, but mentally weak people will say, oh, they try to shift blame. They try to put blame on people. They don't want to own up things. They don't want to take responsibility, most especially for their mistakes. Mentally strong people will come out and tell you that, oh, I did this wrong. I got it wrong. I'm so sorry. I got it wrong. They'll come out. They might be claiming they were right before, but once they realize they are wrong, they will come and own up to you and tell you that, guy, I am wrong in that thing I've done. That is a sign of mental strength. When somebody comes to you, say, sorry, I was wrong. But people that are mentally weak, they wouldn't want to own up that they were wrong. They won't want to own up to their mistakes. They don't want to take responsibilities.
That's true.
Guys, so I hope you've been able to learn one or two things about being mentally strong and mentally weak. We encourage every one of us to be mentally strong, because if we are mentally weak, it will make us very, very unproductive and will not be really emotionally okay and stable. So we hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and put your comment. You can also share with somebody you feel might have one or two things to learn from this episode about mental strength and mental weakness. So we hope to see you in our next video. See you then. Peace.
Bye.